sorry, it's going to be quite a few jump cuts because of all the trying to put back the movies as I go, kind of stack by stack. Alright, moving on. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I know this is a classic, but I do think it's a tad overrated. I'm probably saying that for too many movies. I'm sorry. I really don't mean to. I'm not really crapping on these movies that are classics. Sometimes you just watch a movie that's really hyped and then you're just disappointed. Everyone has those movies. Oh god, speaking of which, Cabaret. I did not like this movie. I know it's a classic, but I did not like it. Caddyshack, one of my favorite comedies of all time. Hilarious. Ted Knight. All the main cast members are hilarious, but Ted Knight, he's freaking hilarious. A Canterbury Tale. Captain Phillips, a movie I seriously did not expect to be as good as it was. Oh, I'm so glad I went to the theater to see that. Carlito's Way, very good Brian De Palma movie. Sean Penn is really good in that movie. Carrie, another Brian De Palma movie, actually, that's funny. Casablanca, classic. Casino, great Scorsese movie. Maybe a little derivative of Goodfellas, but still good on its own. Children of Men, amazing movie. Chinatown, great Jack Nicholson film, great noir movie. Here we have the Chucky Complete Collection. This was before Cult of Chucky came out. I used to have Cult of Chucky. I actually got rid of it because I didn't really care for it too much. But I'm fine with just these movies. My favorite being the original, and then probably the second one. I actually like the original Child's Play trilogy the most out of all those movies. Cinderella, great Disney movie. Citizen Kane, I do not think it's overrated. I think it's a very, very good movie. I think it's a masterpiece even. So, maybe not the greatest movie of all time, but pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. City Lights, Charlie Chaplin. One of my favorite movies, Clash of the Titans. Love it. We have the Kevin Smith Blu-ray triple feature with Clerks, Chasing Amy, and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Clerks being the best of these three. Chasing Amy, damn good movie though. Then we have Clerks 2. Love that movie. Hilarious. Then the recent Jay and Silent Bob reboot. I thought it was okay. Clockwork Orange. One of the greatest movies ever made. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I thought it was a tad overrated, so I need to give this one another chance. I didn't have this particular Blu-ray when I first watched it. I don't know which version I had, but I know there's multiple versions. This, however, comes with every single version. This set comes with the theatrical, special edition, and director's cut. I don't know which version I used to have, but now that I have all three versions, I'm definitely gonna give it another chance. Alright, here we have a double feature, Cloverfield and Dark City. Dark City being the superior of the two, but I love Cloverfield. I really do. I love that movie. And then we have 10 Cloverfield Lane. I really like the Cloverfield movies. I haven't seen the third one yet. Heard it was bad though. Then we have Conan, The Complete Quest with Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. Have not seen the second one, and I don't know if I plan on it anytime soon. The Conversation, really underrated Francis Ford Coppola movie. Definitely give that a watch if you're a big Gene Hackman fan like myself. Especially if you've seen the movie Enemy of the State. This is almost like... Enemy of the State's almost like a sequel to this. So definitely check both of those out. One of my favorites, Cool Hand Luke. Definitely a good movie.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Alright, next is Crash. Overrated. I think most people agree with that nowadays. It's a well-made movie, it's just... I'm not going to get into that. Maybe if I review it someday. Alright, next we have Creature from the Black Lagoon Legacy Collection. I think probably the weakest of the Universal Monster movies. Well, of the Universal Monsters, I do like the Creature, but I don't know. I just think these movies are some of the weaker of the Universal monster movies. We have Crimes and Misdemeanors, a really good Woody Allen film. Definitely recommend that if you're a fan of his and haven't seen this. Alright, next we've got Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. A little overrated, but it's... I don't know, I don't think it's aged well. You don't really hear that many people talking about it anymore. Alright, next we have The Crow. I'm really glad I have this on Blu-ray, because this is a beautiful looking movie on Blu-ray. The Crying Game. Really looking forward to watching that. Haven't gotten to it yet. Dances with Wolves. Great epic movie. This is actually the extended version. I haven't seen this version yet, so look forward to when I do. Am I the only one who thinks Kevin Costner's narration is terrible?
The Indians, they're good people. I'm Kevin Costner. The Indians teach me all kinds of things because I'm Kevin Costner.
Alright, now we have Darling. Little underwhelming for me. It started out good, but I think it went on a little too long. But let me tell you something. Julie Christie was hot. Alright, now we got Days of Heaven. I really wanted to like this. I really want to like it. Need to give that another chance too. Dazed and Confused. Again, like American Graffiti. It's very similar to American Graffiti, but I prefer American Graffiti over this. I also think this is a tad overrated. I didn't grow up in the 70s, although I love 70s culture. So maybe someone like me, my age, wouldn't appreciate this movie as much. I do appreciate it as a film. I just don't think it's the masterpiece a lot of people say it is. But maybe it's just because of my age. I don't know. Alright, next we have Dead Man's Shoes. Big disappointment. Dead Poet Society. Death Proof. Decent Tarantino movie. The Deer Hunter, one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm a sucker for Vietnam War movies, and this is definitely one of the greatest, for sure. Alright, next we have Delicatessen. I was really disappointed by that. I really wanted more out of that. Deliverance. One of the most uncomfortable movies to watch, but can't deny its impact and how entertaining it is. The Departed. A riveting, riveting movie. It's one of those movies that's long, but it doesn't feel like it because it's so fast-paced, but it's not too fast-paced, you know? It's just so good. The Descent. Despicable Me. Despicable Me 2. I don't have 3. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get to it. Next we have the Die Hard 4 film collection because the 5th one does not exist. Dirty Dancing. The 4 film favorites Dirty Harry collection with Dirty Harry, Magnum Force, The Enforcer, and Sudden Impact. My favorite being Dirty Harry, and then my second favorite being Magnum Force, and then Sudden Impact. And then we have the 5th movie, The Deadpool. I need to get that set that just has all 5 of them just to save some space. District 9. Django Unchained, I think Tarantino's last masterpiece that he made. Dr. Zhivago. Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Classic Stanley Kubrick movie. Dodgeball, a true underdog story. Hilarious movie. Dog Day Afternoon, I think one of Al Pacino's best films and one of his best performances. Definitely check this out if you haven't seen it. This is a great movie, probably one of my favorites now. Dogma, probably my favorite View Askew movie. Clerks might be my favorite, but this is definitely a runner-up. Great, great movie. Donnie Darko, the director's cut. I do have the original somewhere. I'll get to it eventually. I haven't watched this version yet, but I heard its reputation has kind of dwindled. So, I don't know, we'll see. Don't Look Now. Do the Right Thing. Really good movie. Double Indemnity. Downfall. The Dragon Tattoo trilogy. Oh, I'm telling you, the first, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, these are the Swedish versions. I think the Swedish version is incredibly better than the American version. I am in the minority in that, and I guess because I watched these before the American version. Now, I will tell you, the sequels aren't really anything to write home about. The Girl who Played with Fire is okay. The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest is really just a big courtroom drama. But The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is a masterpiece. Definitely check it out. Check out the American version too. They're both really good. And just, you know, see which one you like better. Alright, next we got Drive. I think a modern day masterpiece. Duck Soup, Marx Brothers movie. The funniest movie ever made to me. Dumb and Dumber. Oh, I'll do a review on this someday. I think this is the funniest movie ever made. I've seen it so many times, it's ridiculous. I laugh every time. I don't know, it's just so well written for a movie that's so dumb. It's a comedic masterpiece to me. I will always treasure this movie. This movie has such a special place in my heart. You have no idea. I'll explain it if I ever do a review on it, which I probably will soon. And then we have Dumb and Dumber, the unrated version on Blu-ray. I have both because this version does not have the theatrical on there. I actually prefer the theatrical. I feel like some of this version actually kind of has some unnecessarily more vulgar humor than the original theatrical, which doesn't bother me. I just feel like it kind of takes something away from the original movie. But this does have some funny scenes that were not in it. And but if that doesn't bother you, then I'd say get this version because there's documentaries on it and deleted scenes. A lot of funny deleted scenes, actually. This has nothing. This just has the trailer, but I keep it because it's the original version, which is not on here. So, one of the greatest biopics I've ever seen in my life, Straight Outta Compton. I still think the greatest movie I have seen in probably 5 years or so. I don't know what it is that made this movie so special, but I just love this movie. And I love NWA, and I love Ice Cube. Ice Cube is my favorite rapper of all time. It's just so good. If you're an NWA fan and you haven't seen this, what are you doing? Come on. Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. I think this movie was massively underrated. I think people only appreciated it for the last scene in the movie with Darth Vader, but it's more than that. I think this is the greatest of all the recent Disney Star Wars movies. It's the only one I like, really. I hate the new trilogy. I hate it. Alright, Star Trek, the original motion picture collection. I love that artwork, by the way. This has the first 6 movies. I would like to get a version that has special features. I mean, this has some features, but not very good ones. It's not really in-depth into the making of. So, I'm going to have to look for that someday. I'm not a big fan of the Next Generation movies. Next we have the Star Trek 3 movie collection with the newer movies on there. Haven't seen Star Trek Beyond yet. Looking forward to watching that. Stand By Me, one of my favorite movies of all time. Classic. Next we have Spider-Man. So nostalgic. I have so many memories with this. Spider-Man 2, actually my least favorite of the Sam Raimi trilogy. I think it's a little, I don't know, it's overrated. I'm sorry, I think it's just a tad pretentious. But I like it. It is kind of a feel-good movie. I just think it's a little overhyped. Spider-Man 3, I'm going to get so much crap for this, but Spider-Man 3 is my favorite Spider-Man movie. I know. But it's a fun movie. It's just, it has the most action, has the best action to me. I know it's bloated and it's a mess. I am not saying it's a good movie. I just enjoy it the most. That's all I'm saying.